The pumpkin patch has been going for quite some time now. Been putting lots of attention and water into it, and there are no pumpkins. I think I've spotted a pumpkin. You spotted it? Well, that was quite brutal, but there's no pumpkins on any of these. Well, at least there's a decent amount of organic material gone into the compost pile. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. So if you were watching last Saturday's video, you'll see that the reel at the beginning there was taken from it, and it was about the pumpkin patch where we are now. And you'll have seen me clearing out the majority of the pumpkins that were there, purely because they'd not set any fruit, and we're into August now, so if there's no fruit, it's just not worth me putting water onto the pumpkin patch. I had a lot of really helpful comments, thank you very much, from people who watched. Perhaps there's a lack of pollinators, or not male and female plants. There are quite a lot of pollinators here, and I did go around with a little paintbrush from one flower to the next, but still nothing really happened. I used a mixture of seeds as well, both saved seed from my neighbours who grow pumpkins very successfully every year, and bought seed, and different varieties as well, but nothing. And even the tiny little pumpkin that I had has shriveled and gone, so I imagine I'll be pulling these out very soon. So what I would like to do to be ready for the next growing season is get this ground prepared. So we only managed to do half of it before we put the pumpkins in, and I know pumpkins are really hungry plants. So what I want to do is clear out the weeds, improve the fertility, and just generally make it an easier space to use. So when it comes around to September, October, I can start using it and hit the ground running. So we're going to get on with the jobs now. Evening is coming, the shadows are getting long, and it's nice and cool. And there's a couple of really big weeds ready to be pulled out. I've got some cardboard saved, and then what I'm going to do in the next few days is get some manure and some compost, and we've got lots of hay, so we can have this bed ready for when we need it.
So over the last few days, we've been down the land here building the high-tech bird feeder, and we've put it down the bottom of our land down here to hopefully get some photographs, footage of some birds landing. For a while we've been looking for something like that so we can see what wildlife we have around here, but it's got us thinking about maybe putting some more bird feeders around the land, and we have all of this wood. So just some very un-high-tech or low-tech bird feeders was our idea. We have quite a lot of pieces. All of the offcuts from when we built our wooden house down here. Quite a lot of them, which I'm sure we can use to build some low-tech bird feeders, I'm sure. We've also been gifted this birdhouse here. Really cool, really rustic. Looks like it's been made from kind of like offcuts of wood, basically this type of wood. So I think this will look really nice kind of up on the house possibly. The only downside with it is, the person who made it was aware of this, is that the hole on it might be a little bit big for the native birds that are around this area. I did some research today and we were looking at what kind of birds there are around this area. There's quite a few native birds around here, and the hole size, ideally, depending on which bird you're trying to attract, should be something between 2.8 centimetres and 3.3 centimetres. So I'll measure this hole up first, and if we need to make it any smaller, we can just put a cover over there and drill a 2.8 to 3.3 hole. Probably something in the 3 centimetres will probably work perfectly. But to be honest with you, that looks like something like 3 centimetres. So I'm going to have a look. Okay, so let's have a look. This is... Okay, so I never was very good at estimating, but that then is about... It's about 4.5 centimetres that way by about maybe 4.5 to 5 centimetres that way. So ideally, out of all those pieces of wood that we have there, I will cut a square piece and drill a hole of about 3 centimetres in that. Then we can place that over there, and then hopefully that'll encourage some birds into the land. Okay, so looking at the wood hole drills, I don't have anything that's the size that we need. So this one here is about, I mean they're both, this one here is at 3.5 and this one here is at 2.6. I need something between 2.8 and 3.3, and we want something somewhere in the middle of there. I think I'm going to use the smaller one first because that is too big, and I could always maybe make that a little bit bigger afterwards. So I'm just looking at the size of the hole there, and I think that's just come out just a little bit bigger than the 28 that was on the cutter, because it's cut to the outside edge. I don't know, maybe I should make that a little bit bigger, do you think? Make it about 30?
I think that's good.
It's going to get little birds coming in.
I think so.
Yeah.
They do like a little tight space, don't they?
Yeah, keeps them safe, doesn't it?
Yep.
Okay. So there we go, I've got a 28mm hole in there now, which is probably about the minimum size that we require to get some birds coming in. So I can pop that onto there like that, and that should be really, really good. I did make the mistake of drilling 4 holes in it, and then Elaine said, well, why not just glue it on? I think she's got a very good point. It'd be a lot easier just to glue it on. So I'm just going to do that, and then we'll leave this overnight and we'll come back to it tomorrow, and we'll maybe put it up on the house somewhere. In the meantime, Elaine's getting some pieces of wood ready to build the feeder that we were talking about a little bit earlier on.
So Darren's told you about how we want to attract more birds onto the land to eat non-beneficial insects, and basically just because they're lovely to have around. So we're making a feeder, and I've pulled out some of the scraps. I'm a right hoarder when it comes to sort of projects and bits of wood. I keep everything, and Darren just looks at me and thinks I'm mad, but comes in useful for this. He's giving me a funny look now. So I've got a base, and then I've got a lip to go all the way around to stop the food from blowing out. I've got some square wood, very windy at the minute. I've got some square wood we can use as legs, and then with a leg in each corner, this needs cutting down obviously, we can then put a roof on. I had thought of just something simple like a flat roof, but looking at how well these are size wise, I'm thinking we could join them like that and make a pitched roof. which will also look much nicer. So that's another job for us to be getting on with now.
Because we're going to do the pitched roof like that.
Yeah.
Which we've got some screws there that can do that actually. Then yeah, it probably would be easier, as you say, to pitch it, to cut that a little bit, wouldn't it, and then put the screw through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll probably work a lot better.
So
yeah, so if you do the measuring and the angles. And
well, you'll need to do that so that we can then get what the
Yeah.
angle is on there.
And then we can put that there. I think I look really smart actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll get that screwed into there then, yeah?
So we've screwed together the two pieces to make an apex roof, and Darren's just working on attaching the legs to the base. We've got our base, we've got our legs, we've angled the tops of them to accept the roof, and then all we need to do is glue the edges on, and then we can pop our roof on. I'm going to let Darren glue the edges on now, and then we'll attach the roof tomorrow once the glue is dry. And while he's doing that, I'm going to go and get us some dinner ready that I brought with us, because I think we're pretty hungry. Are you hungry, Max? Are you? Are you hungry? You're always hungry, aren't you? Hey, you're a good boy. Come to say hello to everyone. He's a good lad. You've been very patient on your lead.
So a little bit rough and ready, but not too bad from a few off cuts. So I'll come back tomorrow and we'll put the roof on.
Well, I've already started because I was hungry. So
Nice.
I've made mushroom pizza, and then for dessert we've got some poached pears on a chocolate cake with some vanilla yoghurt.
Wow. Poached pears on a chocolate cake. Trying to get a piece of yoghurt, piece of poached pear and a piece of cake. All on one spoon. It's a bit much actually. Too much if you're going for it as well. Really good idea. It's a good use of the myriad of pears that we have. How many do we have? About 100.
Oh, don't know. 2 bagfuls.
2 bagfuls.
And all I've managed to use is 9.
So it's getting a little bit later in the evening now. We've just had our food. Absolutely delicious. Homemade pizza. Very nice indeed, love. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we thought, because it started to get dark, we thought it might be a really good opportunity to show you this new light by Klarus. It's a new product. They've only just released it. You might remember we worked with Klarus a couple of weeks ago, I think, when we did our 24 hours in the cabin. We showed you a few of their lights in that video. They've sent us out this new one here. It's a camping light. It's called camping and work light, actually. Yeah, really solid, really sturdy, quite heavy in fact.
It is. It's a weighty piece. It's not just like a quick little torch or anything like that. It's pretty solid.
It is, yeah. It's got a magnetic base, so we can stick it to the front of the car or something like that if we're out and about and need that little extra light. It's very, very powerful. It has 4 settings of power, going from 120 lumens up to 1,500 lumens. It comes with a 13,500 milliamp hour battery built in, and it has 4 settings of types of light, like blue light and
Soft lights,
white
lights. A double click to turn it on.
It also has a little beacon on the side here, and it can be solid red or it can be flashing red.
Yes.
Can't it? Which is really good. So you can use that in your car. I mean, this is a great thing just to carry around in your car.
So it could be used for sort of an emergency situation, and your beacon light can be on independently of the main beam as well.
Okay.
But the thing that I really like about it is it's got this click, click, click. So it's got a ratchet system, so it will hold in place into several different angles, so you can get the angle that you need if it's standing as a work light or a reading light. And then obviously if you've got it magnetized to a workbench or to your car, say you're changing a tire and you need light, then it will work like that. And
Very nice. Yeah, I
yeah,
like it.
very, very flexible.
So what we've also noticed with this Klarus light is that there is a USB connector in the top there, which means that we can use this as a power bank. And with its 13,500 milliamp hours, that's a pretty powerful little power bank too.
Yeah.
What a great little piece of kit to take out and about with you.
The one other thing that I really love about it is if you lose the information that comes with it, then everything is on the back here for you. So it, you know, it tells you this is your on-off switch, and they're a raised switch as well, so you can feel it. If it's really dark, you haven't got to look for a flat switch. Same for your types of light, and then for your red beacon as well. So there were a couple of the things that really stood out as soon as I started to look at it.
Yeah, and I really like the little pouch that it comes in as well. Yeah, really nice solid lights, and brilliant. Thank you very much to Klarus.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. I'll leave some codes in the bottom. I think also we got a 20% discount code as well for you, so check it out in the bottom in the description.
Yeah.
Okay. So hi everyone, we're back down the land now with our birdhouse. The glue has now dried and that's ready to go. Now we're going to get on with the bird feeder.
Yep, as Darren said, the bird feeder is all set. It's the glue has set. We just now need to screw on the lid, and then we'll find a nice place to house this as well. And already got some seed to go inside. There we go, all done. It's got its roof on. Now we'll find a home for it. I think it might look really nice up here, but the top of this is a bit wonky. So, what do you reckon? Think it'll be all right? Just spotted all of these grapes. This is like a really old vine that we didn't know was here. And so last year we cut it right back, but there's loads of grapes on. And even more here. These are just solid. And it's strange because obviously they've been in the sun all day, that they're really warm. But these are starting to get a blush on them, and those ones are starting to dry out. So perhaps it's time to pick them.
And this is a tiny little vine, isn't it?
It is tiny. It's just, well, it's an old one, but we cut it back last year and then it all regrew. And it's come out really strong and healthy. Do you think that looks okay, or do you think it looks very precarious?
It looks very precarious actually.
We have got an angle bracket that we could put here if we thought it was a bit too winky wonky. Brilliant. Gotta love a wonky feeder. Looks cool though.
So we're just going to put a little angle bracket up because it is a little bit wobbly. Not that a bird's going to knock it, I don't think, but if we do get a wind, a strong gust might take that away. Yeah. Okay, we'll pop that into there. There you go, solid. That's hopefully that'll attract some birds in.
Yeah, we'll put some food in it, mate.
Ah.
Good luck for the little birds. Come on, little birds. Right, sponge pool. So, we're back another night. Darren hasn't set this up like a garden shop. No. Okay, so our last job, or the one that was first, we're back to now. Like I said, I want to try and get this patch ready for when we start all of the autumn planting, so we can kind of hit the ground running. We have got some cardboard, but not very much, so I'm just going to put it where we took out the really big weeds, because we couldn't dig all of the roots out. So hopefully it will just really slow down and hopefully suppress any regrowth. We've got our hay that I'm sitting on. We've got some chicken poo, hence Mac's been next to me now because he's really interested in the chicken poo. And we've got some bought compost because we just haven't got the ability to make our own as yet. So that's the job for this evening. We'll just crack on with it. Are you ready, love? Yeah. Okie doke. Just a thin layer really, we're just trying to help bulk up the soil that's here, and then we'll put the other stuff on top, and hopefully the moisture that the top layer holds in will help this to start rotting down. No, Max. No. No. Black gold.
Yeah. That was the idea. So how do you think we're going to do it?
I think honestly I'm just going to do it by hand. It's a good pre-dinner workout, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's us about done. Last bit to go down. So we've sort of done a layer method. Hope that it will increase the nutrition and the organic matter in this piece of land. So we did a thin layer of hay, then some chicken poop, then compost, and then a nice thick layer of this again. And we're ready to go. And Darren just said a minute ago, wouldn't it be lovely if it just rained? If we had a good rain, that would soak it all in. But there's none in the forecast for months. Anyway, we're done for now. We've done everything that we set out to do this time round. So thank you for spending a bit of time with us. You coming in?
Yeah.
We're tired, sweaty and hungry now, so we're going to say good night. Thank you very much for watching.
Yeah.
If you're not subscribed, please give us a subscribe if you like what we're doing. If not, give us a thumbs up, and we will see you next time.
On the next one.
Yep.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
I stink.
I think.